Kia ora koutou. It's no mai tau mai here again, and we wanted to leave you just a snippet of the first part of our practice where we explored some self-touch and a little bit of massage or release through the face and through the upper body. This can be really, really powerful. Something you can do daily. It can be something you do as you wake up. It might be really nice to go to do before you go to bed. But also in moments through the day, you know, if things are becoming a little bit stressful or feeling overwhelmed, it's a really quick and easy way to come back into the tinana, where you'll notice things are more just okay. You know, they don't have to be great, but they can be okay. So we will start finding a comfortable position. So if you're sitting, just making sure that your feet are on the ground, feet slightly apart, sitting bones press into whatever it is that's supporting you. And before we start, we'll just soften the eyes or close the eyes. And it's not always easy to reconnect to the breath straight away, but we're just curious, how does it feel to breathe in this tinana today in this moment? And it might be a slow, steady breath in, noticing where the breath arises from in the body. So where's the epicenter of that breath? It might be more around the chest, the shoulders. You might feel it around the heart space. You may start to feel it in the belly. But without having to change it, where is it naturally arising from? And you're just letting the breath be. You're letting the body be as it is. We're never practicing to change or fix anything. There's nothing wrong with what is here right now. But we can do things to help support, give ourselves some space within these moments. So as and when you're ready, we'll flutter the eyes open and just rub the palms together to start. Feel the heat, maybe the friction in the palms. And wait till you get a sense of that before slowly bringing the hands apart, maybe closing the eyes and feeling that fizz of energy or that movement of modi. And if we think about our hands today as an extension of our heart, it's that kind, loving touch that we want to bring to our tinana. And we're going to start around the face so that we can get to some of the branches or the areas where some of the branches from the vagus nerve, the main nerve through the body, through the spine, those upper branches here around the face help bring us into parasympathetic nervous system. It helps us come into a space where we can rest, we can digest what is happening, and we can heal. So we start with our thumbs in the inner corners of the upper eye sockets. And you're pressing the thumbs in and up. And that might give you a little bit of a headache. It might be quite tender. Can you keep the breath flowing? Keep it soft. Nice. And then move along. Find another spot on that rim. Press in and up. Your other fingers might rest on your scalp. And then move along again. You might find that tender point and notice that perhaps the belly tightens or around the diaphragm, and we want to keep that soft where we can. Keep breathing a slow, steady breath. Maybe bringing the thumbs to the outer corners of your eyes. Press in and up. Lovely. And then we take the thumbs away, but we use the fingertips, the rest of the fingers, above the eyebrows, press up Move through the forehead and into the scalp. And let's do that 2 more times. Might be nice to go beyond the crown if your hair allows you. Come all the way down the back of the scalp into the neck. Last one. Beautiful. After that last one, we're going to bring our hands to the bridge of the nose. Mainly index finger, middle finger, maybe ring finger, and slowly brush right up underneath the lower part of the eye socket into the temples. We'll do that 2 more times. Do it 1 more time. And when you're in the temples, maybe press and circle. If there's a tender spot, maybe stay there. Press again. Cool. We're going to use our thumbs now. Come up underneath the apple of the cheekbone, and press in and up. The rest of your fingers might just lightly stay around the temple. And then we move along that jawbone. So just beyond the round part of the cheekbone, we start to move along that kind of passage or pathway towards the joint. And be curious, where can you kind of get in and under here? If we clench our jaw a lot, you know, stress does that. As we really focus, we clench. If we're trying to keep emotion suppressed, we often clench. So this is a really nice opportunity now to bring index finger, middle finger to the joint, and either find any lumpy bits that you might just be able to press directly into, or it might be good to again circle the fingers here. The lower jaw might just move slightly from side to side as it opens. There's a knobbly bit, maybe a few more breaths, but keep the breath going, all right? Notice if you're holding anywhere. Can you soften any of the tummy muscles? And then we'll take a rest, hands on the knees, closing the eyes. Can you imagine your eyebrows just melting either side of the face? We'll help the jaw soften again by bringing your hands to your face. And as you exhale, use the hands to try and melt the lower part of the jaw. Down and away. And we do that again. Hands on the jaw. As you exhale, slide gently down and away. The last exhale, repeat. Cool. Let's take opposite hands to opposite arms. And we just bring the arms in. It's like you're giving yourself a hug. You might even just want to bring your hands around your ribs for this for a moment. But there's 3 or 4 breaths of just feeling this embrace. Your tinana feeling held, your tinana holding you. And this might be a really nice place to stay. Or we take hands to opposite shoulders and it's a squeeze down the length of your arms. 1 squeeze at a time. It's like a squeeze of reassurance. You are here with your body. We'll do 1 more. Perfect. We're going to take left hand to right shoulder Let the right arm relax, and you're using your fingers to get into that muscle there. Our shoulders carry a lot. Now we hear that phrase, carrying the world on your shoulders. It's here we can get a lot of trapped emotion and energy around that sense of burden, expectation, stress, anxiety, but also grief. Grief can live here in this part of our tinana when we've had to put it aside, when we haven't had time to process. So it's normal to feel uncomfortable as we get into this tissue. Again, we keep holding the space with love. We'll rub the arm now all the way down that outer part of the arm to the top of the hand, and then flip and rub all the way through the inner part to the shoulder. Bit of pressure as you rub, come all the way down. Flip, come up. And last one. We pause, hands on the flap, closing the eyes, just noticing where that shoulder now sits in comparison to the other side. As you come back to the breath, how does it feel? We're going to do the other side. The side might feel completely different. It might be the same. Sometimes if we have a dominant driving arm or we carry a lot of bags. Just seeing what's here. Just as what it is. And how can we support ourselves? When you're ready, you might stay with that or bring that rubbing action down the outer arm and up through the inner arm. There's these big energetic channels here that support the lungs and the heart, pericardium. We're just giving our heart an opportunity to breathe, really. Give ourselves an opportunity to come up for air. You can keep rubbing for as long as you like, or let the hands rest. And again, notice this shoulder. Can you let the shoulder blades really be on your back? With that, the heart might start to merge forward. And the mind might just sit back. So often our mind is forward and we're literally moving through life head first. But when there is space, when we feel safe, there's capacity, there's an opportunity for the heart to lead the way. In the spring, flowers show. And our hinenaro to take the back seat for a moment. The last part of this practice is to bring one hand to your diaphragm, the other hand just behind you, back of the hand, and just rub in a circular motion, maybe around the diaphragm first or the upper part of the puku, and then come down a little bit lower. So sometimes this area gets really tight. It means that our breath is just forced to kind of stay in the upper part of the chest. But if we can create space here, invite the breath to inflate the belly, again, it's just a much more comfortable place to live from, right? To be in. We're going to switch hands and do the same. Diaphragm sometimes stores a lot of energy from our past experiences. When we've been in shock, when things have happened a little bit too fast, too soon, too much. And a little lower in our puku, a lot of our emotion that again we haven't had time or capacity to process. Some of the stuff we take on for other people. A lot of the tears that we learn to do on the inside. So this rub here, just acknowledging what's being held. And once things have been acknowledged, there's an opportunity to release. The hands might rest on your knees. You might just scoot back into your chair and find that place of rest. The only place I've ever found. It's like you're able to lean back into the arms of your hearts. It's where my feet become the ground. These great big arms that hold and support the space around you. Can you trust that you have you in these moments and lean in? Bit by bit, breath by breath. It's where my feet come the ground. Then with these last 3 breaths we'll take together, always an invitation. We're not forcing anything, we're just curious. Might play with letting be, letting the body be as it is, letting you be as you are within this body, around this body. We might then be able to gently let something go. It might be the breath fully. It might be just one of these kind of imaginary shopping bags that we carry. People load upon us, not necessarily what we pick up for ourselves. And then in the last breath, maybe there is something we can let in. It might be a quality of presence. It might be a word. It might be a feeling. Something that allows us to shift to that place of support rather than effort. So we'll take this together. Hands wherever they might be on the lap, they may even feel that they want to come together in front of the heart. Or what might be really nice is bringing one hand to the heart. So for the first breath, can we practice with allowing things just to be as they are? We let be. Nothing to change, nothing to fix. Everything is as it is, and we look in with love. Then on the next breath, might be 2 or 3 breaths, being curious. We don't have to think about what we want to let go. We're just giving ourselves the invitation, opening up the possibility. It may not happen now, it may happen the rest or further on into the day. But we give ourselves the invitation to let go. And we can practice that with fully exhaling. On the next exhale, imagine a slide and go all the way down to the very end and hang out in that space before receiving the next breath in. And as you begin to now receive the breath, no effort, we're just ready to receive the life force coming in through your tinana. What is it that you would like to bring in? You might notice it comes in with the inhale. It might be that as you let the breath go, it feels like a vacuum within the body and something is soaked up and absorbed. If we're looking for support, nourishment, to feel nurtured, stability, safety, we might look to Papatuanuku. We might reach out to our tupuna. You might reach out even further and beyond, whatever resonates. Perhaps letting in something that feels supportive. It might just be your own attention, allowing yourself to be seen through these kind eyes. The hands come together, a quick rub of the hands. Again, hands extension of the heart. We're cultivating this energy so that we can feel it before having to share with the rest of the world. Maybe hands come back to the face. You might just let your head rest in your hands. And then they come together just in front of the heart. May we practice from this place of love. May we practice for the desire to know the truth. And may we practice for the well-being of all beings. From our hearts to yours, thank you so much. Take care as you move into the rest of your day. Until we meet again. Pai Ora.